So, hello back. Thank you so much for watching this. It's super important, and thank you for your help and everything. Super grateful for this. So, just let's jump into the first week. What we're going to do when we get the manuscript, and I'm going to share my screen again. So, where was it? No, that's wrong. Sorry. So you see here, so the first week, and we went over this in the overview. The first week is basically we send out the fill out form for the author, and the reason we have to do this is we need information about the book, a book summary, and a biography for the one sheet, and we need a one sheet for the podcast booking, right? So, and I created the fill out form, and it looks like this. So this is the author form. We need to send out the author form to the author. And I'm going to go through the question with you. And like I said, the reason is that we write like a short book summary about a book and have some information about the author, who is he or she, and like, write a short mini short biography about the author, like not longer than a half of a page, like 250 words or whatnot. So the first question is, please describe your book in as much detail as possible. What is it about? This gives us an idea about the summary. And then, who would you like to reach with your book? What problems are you solving for your readers? This is very important for later, as well for the market analysts, because then we get an idea, okay, what is the intention of the author? What is the audience? Who's the reader? And a little tip, the target group, we can find the target group usually when we look at the author, because the author represents the target group. Let's say the author is like 36 years old, female, has a background in finance, and wrote a book about money. So usually we know, okay, the target group is like in their 30s, mostly female, are interested in self-improvement, like want to have financial freedom and so on. So we need to understand who the author is, and then we also can understand who the target audience is and the readers. And in the next video, we go a little bit deeper about ideal clients and milieus and so on, but it's just like for you to understand why those questions are very crucial to understand. Next question, please confirm my book has been professionally edited and is ready for publishing. The table of content is complete, because we don't want to waste any time, and we don't want to go over the table of contents and so on, because if we don't have the finished book, it's just cost time, and we can't like keep our promise. So this is very crucial. We get all the ready and completed editing. So, and then I put here yes or no. My book has been not professionally edited. I'm aware of the disadvantage. And maybe I write here yes, the table of yes, the book is edited and the table of content is completed. Maybe let me do this quickly. So, and I just put another quote in here. So and this is very important, like, please confirm my book has been professionally edited and is ready for publishing. The table of content is completed. So either yes, the manuscript is edited and the table of content is completed, or no, my book has not been professionally edited. I'm aware of the disadvantage and want to publish it. The table of content is completed. And I understand that an unfinished manuscript leads to delay. This is very important, because if we have to do a lot of like other things, we can't publish everything within a month. And it's important that the author also understands this. Next one is, please add all the LinkedIn account, website, social media. and so on. So this gives us the chance to do some background research and so on, and to really understand who the author is. And then some question which we can use about who the author is, and to write a mini or short author biography. So it's like, what is your motivation to write this book? Since when do you engage in the subject that you present in your book? What makes you an expert on your book topic? And lastly, please confirm I'm going to send a professional photo that presents me best as an author. Yes, so. And then if anything else is still open, like anything else you want us to know about you and your book. Then this is a fill out form, and which the author has to do, and which is the first thing we do to send out. The second thing is we're going to contact the podcast booker. And we just write, hey, we have a new authors coming in, and we're working on the one sheet, and hopefully in the next few days we can send you the one sheet, and then have like 2 to 3 weeks until we get 2 podcast shows or whatever they're booked, right? And so our promise is do everything within a month. So basically, let's say this is the 1st of February, and the 28th of February is our release day. And we want to make sure that we get the recordings before, like hopefully in the 3rd or 4th week. And then, so we can't really guarantee it when the podcast show is going to be, released, because sometimes sometimes it's immediately, sometimes it needs weeks. So it depends on the podcast host. We have no influence on this, but we want to make sure that the recording is before the end of the 4th weeks, and ideally the release, when the podcast goes public, is around the book release date as well. So what I said, we don't have any influence on this, unfortunately. So when we're done with this, we have to simultaneously, and this is really important, simultaneously start with the layout and the cover. And I'd suggest we're starting first with the layout, because it's easier and straightforward. Then we need to do like a cover analysis, like understand what the cover is about. And then we can, send our analyst to the graphic designer. And at the end of the week, we're going to work on the one sheet and have this one sheet ready. And, this is a process. It's not just we start the cover and then the layout and so on. It's all like, it's a process, and all like simultaneously. So the best thing is for you to do on the first date, like we get this in, we send the author the fill out form. We're going to contact the podcast booker the same day, everything the same day. We're going to contact the layout guy, right? This is Richard in our case. We're going to start the cover analysis. And if we still, like, let's see how far we come. And then still in the first day or the second day, we're going to contact the graphic designer, and always double check the email. Okay, let's start with the layout. And in our workflow file, we have here this layout cover one sheet, right? It's like under digital authors, workflow publication, layout cover one sheet. It's basically the first week. Here you see the fill out form for the author's information. Here you see also like an overview over the book publication process, and also our, when someone book the package, a book release, what we like going through here. And you see like the weeks, you have basically this, and you see everything in order. Okay, let's go through the layout workflow, and you see this here. And I encourage you to read through this. This is like my conversation with Richard, and we did the layout for Larry. And just to give you like an idea, with Larry, we got, it was a little bit hectic, but this is our job, I guess. We got like an old PDF, like over 10 years old PDF, which we had to transform in a Word document, and then everything was like a little bit funky. So we had to make sure that we make the order of the pages right. And I'm going to tell you in a second what I mean. Okay. So I think I make something wrong with pausing and recording, and I hope I have everything. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry, but I don't want to that we miss something. So when we reach out to the layouter, we have to make sure that we know which kind of book format we have, and we know with which kind of interior we go. So, and this is important, like we need to have a specific order with the pages, especially in the beginning. And this is really standard, and we really make sure, we have to make sure that we follow the standard. So since we worked already with Richard and he knows what's important for us, I think it's pretty straightforward. But just for you to understand what are we going through. So here's a book. And when we open the book, and by the way, I encourage you, go to your own bookshelf, take books and see how the first pages before the book content really starts, how it looks like. So we're going to open the book, and here you see like, okay, this is like usually a blank page, but here's like the title. And make sure that you think about, like, when you have the first page in a PDF, this is usually the right side. And then comes the left side, right side, left side, right side. You know, it's a little bit, you have to think a little bit differently with the interior. So, and then usually you open a book, and here's like a little bit more information with the title, and here's some addresses and who works with the book. And then here's very important is the imprint and the copyright note and so on. And here's a table of content. Goes over a few pages because it's a very long book, right? And then we start with the foreword. The preface, you see, we started with forward. Here, the preface here. Even a disclaimer, then another note. And then finally, we start with chapter 1. You know, there is like, what is it? Like 23 pages before we actually start with the book. So we have to make sure we have everything from the author, like the preface, the table of content, the foreword, and so on. And okay, so let's go over the layout we have created for Larry. So like I said, we just got like an old PDF, had to transform it into a Word document file. And so this book is an architecture book, and the first page, like what you saw here as just a title, we used actually an old drawing from Larry, because, you know, he's an architect and he draws this, so we thought it's quite a nice idea. The second page is blank, and you know, when you open a book, it would be like, that's the first one with the drawing, and then the second one would be here, and we have nothing here, which is fine. And then the third page comes the title, the year, the information, copyright note and so on. The next time we could also do the title a little bit bigger. But you know, for this style, it's good like it is. And then we scroll down. The fourth page is then again, it's a blank page. It's then again the back page like on here. And then we start with a table of content, which is, we could like put all in on one page, which is nice. And then we have another blank page, and then we start with a preface, which is also very nice. And you see we have like initials here, then this preview, scroll down, and then we have the forward, scrolling down, and then we start with chapter 1 illustration. And then what's very nice, we have this headers always, you see here, the pages are like on opposite, the page numbers are on opposite pages, like the 11 is like on the right, and then scroll down and see, oh yeah, you know, 12 is on the left, and so on, because it's always like we have to think about a book. It's always like 2 pages. And then we see here we have like illustration, we have the name in here, and then the title from the book, and then always like title of the book, and always like the title of the chapters, which is very nice. So, and when I sent everything out to the layouter, what I did was I knew which kind of order the pages has to be, right? And it's usually like the same order. And we go a little bit deeper in a minute. I know the format. Plus, I have some examples from books in a genre, how they look like. And I'll show you how we can do this. So the format is actually also very straightforward. You see here like an overview over the different kind of book formats. And this is in centimeters, so the European standard. And so because we are like specified in nonfiction books, if we got like fiction authors in, this is of course, we try to make adjustments to this. But for nonfiction authors, we're usually working with like book standards, and in centimeters would be 12 plus 19 centimeters, like this one. This is like a book standard. For the architecture book, we could also go like a little bit bigger. But since the drawings, the resolution was like kind of weak, we decided we just go with standard. And here's another picture I want to share where you see the book like a little bit more, the different book standards a little bit better. So you see here for like nonfiction spiritual book, we always have like 5.5 and 8.5 inches. You see it also, like poetry, spiritual, nonfiction. So this is kind of this book standard, and I would just suggest we stay with it. But also always double check with the author, you know, not just decide something and then go with it, because once the layout is done, it's done. You know, we really have to decide on the format, and then the layouter does the layout, and then it's done. So we can't change it, or when we change it, this is always like delays in time, and we have like double costs. So we have to make sure before we start which kind of format we go with. And I always suggest like we go with standard 5.5 and 8.5 inches. And another little trick I do, because I want to understand which kind of formats or the interior of other books in our genre are. So what I usually do is I go on Google and check PDF. No, what was his name? Free PDF drive, I think, was it? Yeah. www PDF drive. You get a lot of like free books here. It's also good if you want to read. I recommend this. And then you just look for, so in our example, we had an architecture book for architecture. And also always take your time, don't do like quick research, always take your time. We have time and we need this time, and do like a very good job in the beginning, because this is like the foundation we set. And then we are like faster in the end, we can deliver very high quality and very good. So always take your time and do some decent research. And what I do right now, I'm just showing you how to do it, but I trust you that you take your time, look at different books, and then, make a smart move. So we see here, for example, okay, this is an architecture book, and the reason is you just want to check how the interior, how the layout looks like, and just get a feeling what the reader who want to buy this book from Larry, for example, which kind of layouts they're used to, and and also give the layout, or like Richard in this case, an idea how we want to like that the layout looks. And also you can always ask the author, do you have like a book in mind which you like from the layout and so on, and send this to us. But most important is what other readers also used to, which kind of standard they're used to. So for this regards, we're doing this research, and then we send like 2 examples of book interior to Richard, and then we say, okay, we have here like 2 examples. We wanted that the layout looks like this. So, and then we just, scroll a little bit through the book interior and see how that did it. Which kind of font they used. Okay, actually, just scrolling through here, I don't like it, because this is like a mess here. Do you see this? It's not a good layout. Yeah, it's not a good layout. Okay, no, just not a good layout. Let's check this one then. Not available, okay. You see, you have to take your time to go through here and see yeah, how other books looks like. Okay, scroll a little bit down. This looks more like a magazine. Okay, yeah, so interesting here, a lot of like drawings and so on, but it's more a magazine. And what's actually a no-go? Do you see the end here? This is actually a no-go. This is called like block-centered, and I always suggest redoing block-centered, because this is like, it's just not a good layout. Okay, the point is, you know how to search for books and for different layouts, and to see, okay, to get an idea how the layout could look like. I gave you some very bad example right now, but this is just, shows the point that you need to take your time and to go a little bit through. Like, this is a good site to go through a few layouts, or also like go to Amazon and you can like have this preview and just look through layouts in our genre and see what they did. And but I did this before, and I found 2 books actually for Larry, which I then suggested to Richard. So, and I'm going to share my screen again. So yeah. So, and I never know if this shows you when I share this, just a second. So here, you know, and I found like a very good book, architecture book, which is like really fitting Larry's content. And this is this one. And you can just see this looks very good. It's very professional, you know, here's with the content and so on. It's like double sized. We didn't want to do this. So we have just like one. But the main reason was like how the text is fitting with the images. Okay. I guess my point is clear, to just, you know, communicate and get an idea which kind of layout we want. But also feel free to share the layout we have, because with Larry's book, for example, we created a very nice layout, and here is it, yeah. You know, we see the ends here, like how it's like block centered, like this means it's all in one line here. It looks just very professional. We have like the headers here and so on. So, and we want to just give our authors like the best quality we can deliver. And this is like high quality here, right? We used like InDesign and so on. So, okay, feel free, like scroll through this book. I put it in here in our examples, and let's just go a little bit over the workflow. So what I do basically, I wrote Richard, hey, we have this book, and he wrote back, fantastic. What are the format? And I basically said, yeah, the format is like this one, 5.5 to 8.5 inches. And then here's great. And I asked something about the pages, 131 and 32, and he had to look and say, alrighty. He sent everything through WeTransfer, which is like, if you have bigger files, it's very good to go with this. And yeah, and I sent like 2 book examples, like I just showed you how I find it, with the fonts, which are very good in this example, and the like how the image was, you know, positioned with the text and so on. And then yeah, we have this whole conversation going on, and Richard then made like 10 pages and sent it to me, and I got like the first 10 pages as an example how he positioned everything. And first we started with 2 columns, which like with this one example what I showed you from the architecture book, but you know, like in one page, like 2 columns, like a table with the text. But then we decided we want to go with 1 column, which looks better. And but if, you know, usually nonfiction book just have 1 column, so we are pretty safe in this. And here I gave him like, okay, we want to go with like the pre-cover, like a plank page, the imprint, like a plank, and the table of contents, and then the preface, forward, chapter, and so on. And so he made all these chapters. And when he first sent like the first 10 pages, what I did, I sent it then to Larry, to the author, and said, hey, please look over it. Is it okay, so can we like continue, or if you want to change anything, just feel free to let me know. I sent it to Larry, waited until Larry gave me his okay, and then I gave the okay to Richard, and then we continued. And then he let me know, like, okay, he did the first 37 pages, and yeah, let me know what you think. And then I saw like a few mistakes, like there was like one blank page wrong, blah blah blah, and then it's just this workflow. And then I say, okay, this has to change. Then I sent everything to Richard, and then Richard sent his to Larry, I'm sorry, to the author. Larry sent us his answer, and I just copy paste everything in and say, okay, here's what Larry wrote, and so on. And then he fixed it. And for example, I saw like a spelling mistake, and you have to like just do this workflow with each other, and always like check, okay, you're the middleman basically. And always please be nice, and always say fantastic, thank you so much, this and that. Always stay constructive, very nice. Please also say, when the layouter does a good job, please say, oh, it looks so great, thank you, amazing job, very appreciate this. Always be kind and nice and generous. Like, here, I have a great second event, looking forward hearing from you, and so on. Make it fun, because it's a great work experience, and it's fun. So, and then like, our workflow continues, and then Richard, report back what you all changed and so on. And then I sent everything to Larry, and I got from Larry, he wanted to change this again, and then I just copy and paste and forward and be the middleman until everybody's happy. We basically say, the author said, yes, everything is okay. And I say to Richard, yes, everything is okay. Please send me the last final editing, and we close this. Plus also, Richard, we need from him the layout with the right format as in PDF, plus as an EPUB file. And the EPUB file we need for the ebook. And in the video upload, we talk about how we're going to do this and how we all use this file, but it's just like for you to know, we need the print version, which means the PDF plus the EPUB file for the ebook. So, my dear, I hope your head is not like burning from all this information. And I hope it's pretty straightforward, right? You just need, it's just organization stuff, right? You just have to like, okay, fill out the form, contact the booking agent, make sure, we start this going with the layouter and so on to keep in our timeline. And so the next thing to do after we contact the layouter, like be sure what we want, which format, like which order, which is always the same, plank, title, plank, imprint, plank, tab of content, preface, forward, first chapter, blah, blah, blah. And sorry. And now we're going to start with the layout. For this, we go to Amazon. And we still have our architecture book, right? It's about, I'm sorry, tiny house. And we just, Google tiny house. And then we see, okay. Tiny house in books. Okay, and then we got like an idea about the tiny house. And how the covers looks like. And it's super important because we need to understand what are the reader used to, which kind of cover, right? So we find like, covers in our genre, and make sure, we at least analyze like 6 different covers and so on. And we play also a little bit with the keywords. How we really do this, to find like good, like the good books in our genre, we're going to talk about in a market analysis. Oh my god, I need to learn this word. Yeah, what's it, second? So basically, we also take our time here in Amazon and see a little bit, okay, what are the best-selling books in our genre, which kind of cover have those books, and then we're creating like a market cover analysis, which we have here for Larry. This is our fantastic Marcus created this. You can see like we used this drawing from Larry from his first page, and then we scroll down and see, okay, the importance of a book cover. And I highly recommend you read this, please, because this gives a lot of information why this work is so important and why we're doing this. So we analyzed 8 books on their covers, and yeah, we look at the book title, how the title is placed, the composition, theme, colors, and so on. And then we go through all the different books, do the analysis, and then come to a conclusion, which kind of title and fonts would fit best, the colors and themes, the images, and the design. And then after we did this work, we take this and reach out to the graphic designer. So like I said, we sent everything over, and for Liam, this was the cover designer who we worked with Larry, and created then for us like a very nice cover. And I have the workflow here. And we also had some pictures from the tiny house. The also like was writing about. This is not the case usually, because we have to create our own pictures, but I also talked with Lime about this, and he has like some access to a lot of pictures, not and he's gonna help us out with this. And it's kind of the same workflow like with the layout. You have to be the middleman. He's sending some examples and so on, and you send it to the author and say, hey, which one do you like? Which one do you want? And so on. And I highly recommend that you please read over this this workflow to really understand how it goes. And you see here, like, okay, Lime like created like different kind of scenarios, and then I sent those to Larry, and you see here you make some nice mock-ups and so on. And then I got Larry's feedback back, and Lime sent us how he see it with the fonts and everything. And then the back cover. For the back cover, it's very important. We have to generate the barcode and like the PDF. It's in PDF. And I highly recommend maybe after this video, please watch the video on how to generate a barcode, because we need this for the back cover. And yeah, so he has like some different example from the back cover, different like formats. And then I sent everything over to Larry. Then he was like, I didn't really like how the text was like positioned. And then I said, oh, can you please do this? And then, I sent some examples, how to do it. And there was an issue. But then we solved it. And and then Lime sent the final version, this cover, which looks amazing. And yeah, there was like then this invoice. And yeah, however, feel free, please read over this to get an idea how it works. And then also here are the cover examples. Here's actually the barcode which we generate in the end, and this is how it looks like. And the graphic designer has to put the cover in here. And we have to generate this. And like I said, there's another video how to generate this. So, and then it's like here, I put all the different kind of pictures in, how like the different kind of example, how the back cover looked like and what we created. And yeah, and basically we went with nope, not with this one. This is then the final version, right? So yeah, this is first week. A lot of things to do. I mean, the cover and the layout is probably not done until the second week. We want to make sure to make the upload in a third week. And this is for this reason, it's so important to start our workflow with the layout, the cover analysis, really in the first week. And I would say like really the first day, it's like send the fill out form to the author. The minute we get the manuscript, we send everything to the layouter. We do like a little research on like the interior of the layout and have already an idea how it goes. We confirm the format with the author. We start the cover analysis, and on the second and the very latest on the third day, we start communicating with the cover design about the cover. Also, not to forget, when we have everything from the fill out form, we need to write like the book summary and the little short biography about the author to create this one sheet. This is very important for the podcast booker. And this is very reasonable, everything in 1 week. And when we have more than one client, which hopefully we do, we need to do like good teamwork, right? And we're going to find our workflow, and Marcus does the layout and the cover analysis because he's an expert in this. And we just need to find how the workflow is going to be. But the most important thing is communication. Asked if everything it's something open. We use ClickUp for the moment for the task, that everybody gets an overview, who has to do what, and so on. And always communicate. Better asked once more than two less, and that everything gets done in the right time. So yeah, this is the first week. Basically, the first 2 weeks are a little bit busy, but once we have started the process, everything is very smooth, and we're going to do this. So thank you so much for watching, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.